Hadīth 1. Narrated Ismā, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, I will be at my lake fount, Kawthar, waiting for whoever will come to me. Then some people will be taken away from me, whereupon I will say, my followers. It will be said, you do not know they turned apostates as renegades, deserted their religion. Ibn Abi Mulaykah said, Allah, we seek refuge with you from turning on our heels from the Islamic religion and from being put to trial. Hadīth 2. Narrated Abdullāh, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, I am your predecessor at the lake fount, Kawthar, and some men amongst you will be brought to me, and when I will try to hand them some water, they will be pulled away from me by force, whereupon I will say, O Lord, my companions. Then the Almighty will say, you do not know what they did after you left, they introduced new things into the religion after you. Hadīth 3. Narrated Sahih bin Sa'd, I heard the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, I am your predecessor at the lake fount, Kawthar, and whoever will come to it, will drink from it, and whoever will drink from it, will never become thirsty after that. There will come to me some people whom I know and they know me, and then a barrier will be set up between me and them. Hadīth 4. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri added that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, further said, I will say, those people are from me. It will be said, you do not know what changes and new things they did after you. Then I will say, far removed, from mercy, far removed, from mercy, those who changed the religion after me. Hadīth 5. Narrated Abdullāh, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said to us, you will see after me, selfishness, on the part of other people, and other matters that you will disapprove of. They asked, what do you order us to do, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, under such circumstances? He said, pay their rights to them, to the rulers, and ask your right from Allah. Hadīth 6. Narrated Ibn Abbas, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, whoever disapproves of something done by his ruler then he should be patient, for whoever disobeys the ruler even a little equals a span, will die as those who died in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, that is, as rebellious sinners. Hadīth 7. Narrated Ibn Abbas, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, whoever notices something which he dislikes done by his ruler, then he should be patient, for whoever becomes separate from the company of the Muslims even for a span and then dies, he will die as those who died in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, as rebellious sinners. Hadīth 8. Narrated Junadah bin Abi Umayyah, we entered upon Ubadah bin as-Samit while he was sick. We said, may Allah make you healthy. Will you tell us a hadith you heard from the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and by which Allah may make you benefit? He said, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, called us and we gave him the pledge of allegiance for Islam. And among the conditions on which he took the pledge from us was that we were to listen and obey the orders, both at the time when we were active and at the time when we were tired, and at our difficult time and at our ease, and to be obedient to the ruler and give him his right even if he did not give us our right, and not to fight against him unless we noticed him having open kufr, disbelief, for which we would have a proof with us from Allah. Hadīth 9. Narrated Usayd bin Hudayr, a man came to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. You appointed such and such person and you did not appoint me? The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, after me, you will see rulers not giving you your right, but you should give them their right, and be patient till you meet me. Hadīth 10. Narrated Abu Hurairah, I heard the truthful and trusted by Allah, that is, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, the destruction of my followers will be through the hands of young men from Quraysh. Hadīth 11. Narrated Zainab bint Jahash, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, got up from his sleep with a flushed red face and said, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. Woe to the Arabs from the great evil that is nearly approaching them. Today a gap has been made in the wall of Gog and Magog like this. Sufyan illustrated this by forming the number 90 or 100 with his fingers. It was asked, "Shall we be destroyed though there are righteous people among us?" The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Yes, if evil increased." Hadith 12. Narrated Usama bin Zayd, once the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, stood over one of the high buildings of Medina and then said, to the people, "Do you see what I see?" They said, "No." He said, "I see afflictions falling among your houses as raindrops fall." Hadith 13. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Time will pass rapidly, good deeds will decrease, miserliness will be thrown in the hearts of the people, afflictions will appear, and there will be much al-Harj." They said, "O Allah's Apostle, what is al-Harj?" He said, "Killing. Killing." Hadith 14. Narrated Abdullāh and Abu Musa, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Near the establishment of the hour, there will be days during which religious ignorance will spread, knowledge will be taken away, vanish, and there will be much al-Harj, and al-Harj means killing." Hadith 15. Narrated Abu Musa, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Near the establishment of the hour, there will be days during which religious knowledge will be taken away, vanish, and general ignorance will spread, and there will be al-Harj in abundance, and al-Harj means killing." Hadith 16. Narrated Abu Musa, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, as above. And Harj, in the Ethiopian language, means killing. Hadith 17. Narrated Abdullāh, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Near the establishment of the hour, there will be the days of al-Harj, and the religious knowledge will be taken away, vanish, that is, by the death of religious scholars, and general ignorance will spread." Abu Musa said, al-Harj, in the Ethiopian language, means killing. Hadith 18. Ibn Mas'ud added, "I heard Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, it will be, from among the most wicked people who will be living at the time when the hour will be established." Hadith 19. Narrated as Zubayr bin Adi, we went to Anas bin Malik and complained about the wrong we were suffering at the hand of al-Hajjaj. Anas bin Malik said, "Be patient till you meet your Lord, for no time will come upon you but the time following it will be worse than it." I heard that from the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Hadith 20. Narrated Salama, the wife of the Prophet, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, woke up one night in a state of terror and said, "Subhanallah, how many treasures Allah has sent down! And how many afflictions have been sent down! Who will go and wake the lady dwellers, wives of the Prophet, up of these rooms, for prayers?" He meant his wives, so that they might pray. He added, "A well-dressed soul in this world may be naked in the hereafter." Hadith 21. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever takes up arms against us is not from us." Hadith 22. Narrated Abu Musa, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever takes up arms against us is not from us." Hadith 23. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "None of you should point out towards his Muslim brother with a weapon, for he does not know, Satan may tempt him to hit him, and thus he would fall into a pit of fire, hell." Hadith 24. Narrated Sufyan, I said to Umar, "O Abu Muhammad, did you hear Jabir bin Abdullāh saying, a man carrying arrows passed through the mosque, and Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said to him, hold the arrows by their heads?" Umar replied, "Yes." Hadith 25. Narrated Jabir, a man passed through the mosque and he was carrying arrows, the heads of which were exposed, protruding. The man was ordered, by the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, to hold the iron heads, so that it might not scratch, injure, any Muslim. Hadith 26. Narrated Abu Musa, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, if any one of you passes through our mosque or through our market while carrying arrows, he should hold the iron heads, or said, he should hold their heads firmly with his hand lest he should injure one of the Muslims with it. Hadith 27. Narrated Abdullāh, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, abusing a Muslim is fusūq, evil-doing, and killing him is kufr, disbelief. Hadith 28. Narrated Ibn Umar, I heard the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, do not revert to disbelief after me by striking, cutting, the necks of one another. Hadith 29. Narrated Abu Bakr, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, addressed the people saying, don't you know what is the day today? They replied, Allah and his apostle know better. We thought that he might give that day another name. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, isn't it the day of An-Nahr? We replied, yes, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. He then said, what town is this? Isn't it the forbidden, sacred, town, Makkah? We replied, yes, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. He then said, your blood, your properties, your honor and your skins, that is, bodies, are as sacred to one another like the sanctity of this day of yours, in this month of yours, in this town of yours. Listen, haven't I conveyed Allah's message to you? We replied, yes. He said, O Allah, be witness for it. So it is incumbent upon those who are present to convey it, this message of mine, to those who are absent, because the informed one might comprehend what I have said better than the present audience who will convey it to him. The narrator added, in fact, it was like that. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, added, beware. Do not renegade as disbelievers after me by striking, cutting, the necks of one another. Hadith 30. Narrated Ibn Abbas, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, beware. Do not renegade as disbelievers after me by striking, cutting, the necks of one another. Hadith 31. Narrated Jarir, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said to me during Hajjat al-Wada, let the people keep quiet and listen. Then he said, addressing the people, beware. Do not renegade as disbelievers after me by striking, cutting, the necks of one another. Hadith 32. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, there will be afflictions, in the near future, during which a sitting person will be better than a standing one, and the standing one will be better than the walking one, and the walking one will be better than the running one, and whoever will expose himself to these afflictions, they will destroy him. So whoever can find a place of protection or refuge from them, should take shelter in it. Hadith 33. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, there will be afflictions, in the near future, during which a sitting person will be better than a standing one, and the standing one will be better than a walking one, and the walking one will be better than a running one, and whoever will expose himself to these afflictions, they will destroy him. So whoever can find a place of protection or refuge from them, should take shelter in it. Hadith 34. Narrated Al-Hasan, Al-Ahnaf said, I went out carrying my arms during the nights of the affliction, that is, the war between Ali and Aisha, and Abu Bakr met me and asked, where are you going? I replied, I intend to help the cousin of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, that is, Ali. Abu Bakr said, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, if two Muslims take out their swords to fight each other, then both of them will be from amongst the people of the hellfire. It was said to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, it is all right for the killer, but what about the killed one? He replied, the killed one had the intention to kill his opponent. Narrated Al-Ahnaf, Abu Bakr said, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, as above. Hadith 35. Narrated Hudayfah bin al-Yaman, the people used to ask Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, about the good, but I used to ask him about the evil lest I should be overtaken by them. So I said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. We were living in ignorance and in an extremely worst atmosphere, then Allah brought to us this good, that is, Islam. Will there be any evil after this good? He said, yes. I said, will there be any good after that evil? He replied, yes, but it will be tainted, not pure. I asked, what will be its taint? He replied, there will be some people who will guide others not according to my tradition. You will approve of some of their deeds and disapprove of some others. I asked, will there be any evil after that good? He replied, yes, there will be some people calling at the gates of the hell fire, and whoever will respond to their call will be thrown by them into the hell fire. I said, O Allah's Apostle, will you describe them to us? He said, they will be from our own people and will speak our language. I said, what do you order me to do if such a state should take place in my life? He said, stick to the group of Muslims and their Imam, ruler. I said, if there is neither a group of Muslims nor an Imam, ruler? He said, then turn away from all those sects even if you were to eat the roots of a tree till death overtakes you while you are in that state. Hadith 36. Narrated Abu al-Aswad, an army unit was being recruited from the people of Medina and my name was written among them. Then I met Ikrimah, and when I informed him about it, he discouraged me very strongly and said, Ibn Abbas told me that there were some Muslims who were with the pagans to increase their number against Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and the Muslim army, so arrows, from the Muslim army, would hit one of them and kill him, or a Muslim would strike him, with his sword, and kill him. So Allah revealed, verily. As for those whom the angels take, in death, while they are wronging themselves, by staying among the disbelievers. Surah 4, Ayah 97. Hadith 37. Narrated Hudayfah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, related to us two prophetic narrations, one of which I have seen fulfilled and I am waiting for the fulfillment of the other. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, told us that the virtue of honesty descended in the roots of men's hearts, from Allah, and then they learned it from the Quran and then they learned it from the Sunnah, the Prophet's traditions. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, further told us how that honesty will be taken away. He said, man will go to sleep during which honesty will be taken away from his heart and only its trace will remain in his heart like the trace of a dark spot, then man will go to sleep, during which honesty will decrease further still, so that its trace will resemble the trace of blister as when an ember is dropped on one's foot which would make it swell, and one would see it swollen but there would be nothing inside. People would be carrying out their trade but hardly will there be a trustworthy person. It will be said, in such and such tribe there is an honest man, and later it will be said about some man, what a wise, polite and strong man he is, though he will not have faith equal even to a mustard seed in his heart. No doubt, there came upon me a time when I did not mind bargaining, with any one of you, for if he was a Muslim his Islam would compel him to pay me what is due to me, and if he was a Christian, the Muslim official would compel him to pay me what is due to me, but today I do not deal except with such and such person. Hadith 38. Narrated Salamah bin al-Aqwa, that he visited al-Hajjaj bin Yusuf. Al-Hajjaj said, O son of al-Aqwa, you have turned on your heels, that is, deserted Islam, by staying, in the desert, with the Bedouins. Salamah replied, no, but Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, allowed me to stay with the Bedouins in the desert. Narrated Yazid bin Abi Ubaid, when Uthman bin Affan was killed, martyred, Salamah bin al-Aqwa went out to a place called Ar-Rabada and married there and begot children, and he stayed there till a few nights before his death when he came to Medina. Hadith 39. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, there will come a time when the best property of a Muslim will be sheep which he will take to the tops of mountains and the places of rainfall, so as to flee with his religion from the afflictions. Hadith 40. Narrated Anas, the people started asking the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, too many questions importunately. So one day he ascended the pulpit and said, you will not ask me any question but I will explain it to you. I looked right and left, and behold, every man was covering his head with his garment and weeping. Then got up a man who, whenever quarreling with somebody, used to be accused of not being the son of his father. He said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Who is my father? The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, replied, your father is Hudayfah. Then Umar got up and said, we accept Allah as our Lord, Islam as our religion and Muhammad as our apostle, and we seek refuge with Allah from the evil of afflictions. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, I have never seen the good and bad like on this day. No doubt, paradise and hell were displayed in front of me till I saw them in front of that wall. Qatada said, this hadith used to be mentioned as an explanation of this verse, O you who believe. Ask not questions about things which, if made plain to you, may cause you trouble. Surah 5, Ayah 101. Hadith 41. The above hadith was narrated by Anas through another chain and said, with the wording, and every man had his head wrapped in his garment and weeping. And he said, with the wording, seeking refuge with Allah from the evil of afflictions, or he said, I seek refuge with Allah from the evil of afflictions. Hadith 42. Narrated Anas, the above hadith is narrated on the authority of Anas through another chain and he said, with the wording, seeking refuge with Allah from the evil of afflictions. Hadith 43. Narrated Salam's father, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, stood up beside the pulpit, and pointed with his finger towards the east, and said, afflictions are there. Afflictions are there, from where the side of the head of Satan comes out, or said, the side of the sun. Hadith 44. Narrated Ibn Umar, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, while he was facing the east, saying, verily. Afflictions are there, from where the side of the head of Satan comes out. Hadith 45. Narrated Ibn Umar, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, O Allah! Bestow your blessings on our Sham. O Allah! Bestow your blessings on our Yemen. The people said, and also on our Najd. He said, O Allah! Bestow your blessings on our Sham, north. O Allah! Bestow your blessings on our Yemen. The people said, O Allah's Apostle! And also on our Najd. I think the third time the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, there, in Najd, is the place of earthquakes and afflictions, and from there comes out the side of the head of Satan. Hadith 46. Narrated Sa'id bin Jubayr, Abdullāh bin Umar came to us and we hoped that he would narrate to us a good hadith. But before we asked him, a man got up and said to him, O Abu Abdur Rahman! Narrate to us about the battles during the time of the afflictions, as Allah says, and fight them until there is no more afflictions, that is, no more worshipping of others besides Allah. Surah 2, Ayah 193. Ibn Umar said, to the man, do you know what is meant by afflictions? Let your mother bereave you. Muhammad used to fight against the pagans, for a Muslim was put to trial in his religion, the pagans will either kill him or chain him as a captive. His fighting was not like your fighting which is carried on for the sake of ruling. Hadith 47. Narrated Ṣaḥīḥ, I heard Hudayfah saying, while we were sitting with Umar, he said, who among you remembers the statement of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, about the afflictions? Hudayfah said, the affliction of a man in his family, his property, his children and his neighbors are expiated by his prayers, zakat, and alms, and enjoining good and forbidding evil. Umar said, I do not ask you about these afflictions, but about those afflictions which will move like the waves of the sea. Hudayfah said, Don't worry about it, O chief of the believers, for there is a closed door between you and them. Umar said, Will that door be broken or opened? I said, No. It will be broken. Umar said, Then it will never be closed. I said, Yes. We asked Hudayfah, Did Umar know what that door meant? He replied, Yes, as I know that there will be night before tomorrow morning, that is because I narrated to him a true narration free from errors. We dared not ask Hudayfah as to whom the door represented, so we ordered Masruq to ask him what does the door stand for. He replied, Umar. Hadīth 48. Narrated Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, went out to one of the gardens of Medina for some business and I went out to follow him. When he entered the garden, I sat at its gate and said to myself, Today I will be the gatekeeper of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, though he has not ordered me. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, went and finished his need and went to sit on the constructed edge of the well and uncovered his legs and hung them in the well. In the meantime Abu Bakr came and asked permission to enter. I said to him, Wait till I get you permission. Abu Bakr waited outside and I went to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and said, O Allah's Prophet. Abu Bakr asks your permission to enter. He said, Admit him, and give him the glad tidings of entering paradise. So Abu Bakr entered and sat on the right side of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and uncovered his legs and hung them in the well. Then Umar came and I said to him, Wait till I get you permission. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Admit him and give him the glad tidings of entering paradise. So Umar entered and sat on the left side of the Prophet and uncovered his legs and hung them in the well, so that one side of the well became fully occupied and there remained no place for anyone to sit. Then Uthman came and I said to him, Wait till I get permission for you. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Admit him and give him the glad tidings of entering paradise with a calamity which will befall him. When he entered, he could not find any place to sit with them, so he went to the other edge of the well opposite them and uncovered his legs and hung them in the well. I wished that a brother of mine would come, so I invoked Allah for his coming. Ibn al-Musayyab said, I interpreted that narration as indicating their graves. The first three are together and the grave of Uthman is separate from theirs. Hadīth 49. Narrated Abu Wa'il, someone said to Usama, Will you not talk to this, Uthman? Usama said, I talked to him, secretly, without being the first man to open an evil door. I will never tell a ruler who rules over two men or more that he is good, after I heard Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, A man will be brought and put in hellfire and he will circumambulate, go round and round, in hellfire like a donkey of a flour grinding mill, and all the people of hellfire will gather around him and will say to him, O so-and-so. Didn't you use to order others for good and forbid them from evil? That man will say, I used to order others to do good but I myself never used to do it, and I used to forbid others from evil while I myself used to do evil. Hadīth 50. Narrated Abu Bakr, during the battle of Al-Jamal, Allah benefited me with a word, I heard from the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. When the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, heard the news that the people of Persia had made the daughter of Khosrau their queen, ruler, he said, Never will succeed such a nation as makes a woman their ruler. Hadīth 51. Narrated Abu Maryam Abdullāh bin Ziyad al-Asadi, when Talha, Az-Zubayr and Aisha moved to Basra, Ali sent Ammar bin Yasir and Hassan bin Ali who came to us at Kufa and ascended the pulpit. Al-Hassan bin Ali was at the top of the pulpit and Ammar was below Al-Hassan. We all gathered before him. I heard Ammar saying, Aisha has moved to Al-Basra. By Allah! She is the wife of your Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, in this world and in the hereafter. But Allah has put you to test whether you obey him, Allah, or her, Aisha. Hadith 52. Narrated Abu Wa'il, Ammar stood on the pulpit at Kufa and mentioned Aisha and her coming to Basra, and said, "She is the wife of your Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, in this world and in the hereafter, but you people are being put to test in this issue." Hadith 53. Narrated Abu Wa'il, Abu Musa and Abu Mas'ud went to Ammar when Ali had sent him to Kufa to exhort them to fight, on Ali's side. They said to him, "Since you have become a Muslim, we have never seen you doing a deed more criticizable to us than your haste in this matter." Ammar said, "Since you, both, became Muslims, I have never seen you doing a deed more criticizable to me than your keeping away from this matter." Then Abu Mas'ud provided Ammar and Abu Musa with two-piece outfits to wear, and one of them went to the mosque of Kufa. Hadith 54. Narrated Shaqiq bin Salama, I was sitting with Abu Mas'ud and Abu Musa and Ammar. Abu Mas'ud said to Ammar, "There is none of your companions but, if I wish, I could find fault with him except with you. Since you joined the company of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, I have never seen anything done by you more criticizable by me than your haste in this issue." Ammar said, "O Abu Mas'ud, I have never seen anything done by you or by this companion of yours, that is, Abu Musa, more criticizable by me than your keeping away from this issue since the time you both joined the company of the Prophet." Then Abu Mas'ud, who was a rich man, said to his servant, "O boy, bring 2 suits." Then he gave one to Abu Musa and the other to Ammar and said to them, "Put on these suits before going for the Friday prayer." Hadith 55. Narrated Ibn Umar, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "If Allah sends punishment upon a nation then it befalls upon the whole population indiscriminately, and then they will be resurrected and judged according to their deeds." Hadith 56. Narrated Al-Hasan al-Basri, when Al-Hasan bin Ali moved with army units against Muawiyah, Amr bin al-As said to Muawiyah, "I see an army that will not retreat unless and until the opposing army retreats." Muawiyah said, "If the Muslims are killed, who will look after their children?" Amr bin al-As said, "I will look after them." On that, Abdullāh bin Amir and Abdur-Rahman bin Samurah said, "Let us meet Muawiyah and suggest peace." Al-Hasan al-Basri added, "No doubt, I heard that Abu Bakr said, once while the Prophet was addressing the people, Al-Hasan bin Ali came and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, 'This son of mine is a chief, and Allah may make peace between 2 groups of Muslims through him.'" Hadith 57. Narrated Harmullah, Usama's Mawla, Usama bin Zayd, sent me to Ali, at Kufa, and said, "Ali will ask you, what has prevented your companion from joining me? You then should say to him, if you, Ali, were in the mouth of a lion I would like to be with you, but in this matter I won't take any part." Harmullah added, "Ali didn't give me anything, when I conveyed the message to him, so I went to Hassan, Hussein and Ibn Ja'far and they loaded my camels with much wealth." Hadith 58. Narrated Nafi, when the people of Medina dethroned Yazid bin Muawiyah, Ibn Umar gathered his special friends and children and said, "I heard the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, a flag will be fixed for every betrayer on the day of resurrection, and we have given the oath of allegiance to this person, Yazid, in accordance with the conditions enjoined by Allah and His Apostle, and I do not know of anything more faithless than fighting a person who has been given the oath of allegiance in accordance with the conditions enjoined by Allah and His Apostle, and if ever I learn that any person among you has agreed to dethrone Yazid by giving the oath of allegiance to somebody else, then there will be separation between him and me." Hadith 59. Narrated Abu al-Minhal, when Ibn Ziyad and Marwan were in Sham and Ibn az-Zubayr took over the authority in Makkah and Qurra, the Kharijites, revolted in Basra, I went out with my father to Abu Barzah al-Aslami till we entered upon him in his house while he was sitting in the shade of a room built of cane. So we sat with him and my father started talking to him saying, "O Abu Barzah, don't you see in what dilemma the people have fallen?" The first thing I heard him saying, "I seek reward from Allah for myself because of being angry and scornful at the Quraysh tribe. O you Arabs! You know very well that you were in misery and were few in number and misguided, and that Allah has brought you out of all that with Islam and with Muhammad, till He brought you to this state of prosperity and happiness, which you see now, and it is this worldly wealth and pleasures which has caused mischief to appear among you. The one who is in Sham, that is, Marwan, by Allah, is not fighting except for the sake of worldly gain, and those who are among you, by Allah, are not fighting except for the sake of worldly gain, and that one who is in Makkah, that is, Ibn az-Zubayr, by Allah, is not fighting except for the sake of worldly gain." Hadith 60. Narrated Abi Wa'il, Hudayfah bin al-Yaman said, "The hypocrites of today are worse than those of the lifetime of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, because in those days they used to do evil deeds secretly, but today they do such deeds openly." Hadith 61. Narrated Abi Ash-Shatha, Hudayfah said, "In fact, it was hypocrisy that existed in the lifetime of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, but today it is kufr, disbelief, after belief." Hadith 62. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The hour will not be established till a man passes by a grave of somebody and says, 'Would that I were in his place.'" Hadith 63. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The hour will not be established till the buttocks of the women of the tribe of Daws move while going round the Al-Qalasa." The Al-Qalasa was the idol of the Daws tribe which they used to worship in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance. Hadith 64. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The hour will not be established till a man from Qahtan appears, driving the people with his stick." Hadith 65. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The hour will not be established till a fire will come out of the land of Hijaz, and it will throw light on the necks of the camels at Basra." Hadith 66. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Soon the river Euphrates will disclose the treasure, the mountain, of gold, so whoever will be present at that time should not take anything of it." Al-A'raj narrated from Abu Hurairah that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said the same, but he said, "It, Euphrates, will uncover a mountain of gold, under it." Hadith 67. Narrated Harithah bin Wahab, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, "Give in charity, because there will come a time on the people when a person will go out with his alms from place to place but will not find anybody to accept it." Hadith 68. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The hour will not be established, 1, till two big groups fight each other, whereupon there will be a great number of casualties on both sides and they will be following one and the same religious doctrine. 2, till about 30 Dajjals, liars, appear, and each one of them will claim that he is Allah's messenger. 3, till the religious knowledge is taken away, by the death of religious scholars. 4, earthquakes will increase in number. 5, time will pass quickly. 6, afflictions will appear. 7, al-harj, that is, killing, will increase. 8, till wealth will be in abundance, so abundant that a wealthy person will worry lest nobody should accept his zakat, and whenever he will present it to someone, that person, to whom it will be offered, will say, "I am not in need of it." 9, till the people compete with one another in constructing high buildings. 10, till a man when passing by a grave of someone will say, "Would that I were in his place." 11, until the sun rises from the west. So when the sun will rise and the people will see it, rising from the west, they will all believe, embrace Islam, but that will be the time when, as Allah said, no good will it do to a soul to believe then, if it believed not before, nor earned good, by deeds of righteousness, through its faith. Surah 6, Ayah 158. And the hour will be established while two men spreading a garment in front of them, but they will not be able to sell it nor fold it up, and the hour will be established when a man has milked his she-camel and has taken away the milk but he will not be able to drink it, and the hour will be established before a man repairing a tank, for his livestock, is able to water his animals in it, and the hour will be established when a person has raised a morsel of food to his mouth but will not be able to eat it. Hadith 69. Narrated Al-Mughirah bin Shu'bah, nobody asked the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, as many questions as I asked regarding Ad-Dajjal. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said to me, what worries you about him? I said, because the people say that he will have a mountain of bread and a river of water with him, that is, he will have abundance of food and water. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, nay, he is too mean to be allowed such a thing by Allah, but it is only to test mankind whether they believe in Allah or in Ad-Dajjal. Hadith 70. Narrated Ibn Umar, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, about Ad-Dajjal, that he is one-eyed, his right eye is as if a protruding out grape. Hadith 71. Narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Ad-Dajjal will come and encamp at a place close to Medina, and then Medina will shake thrice whereupon every kafir, disbeliever, and hypocrite will go out of Medina towards him. Hadith 72. Narrated Abu Bakr, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, the terror caused by Al-Masih Ad-Dajjal will not enter Medina, and at that time Medina will have 7 gates and there will be 2 angels at each gate, guarding them. Hadith 73. Narrated Abu Bakr, as above. Hadith 74. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, stood up amongst the people and then praised and glorified Allah as he deserved, and then he mentioned Ad-Dajjal, saying, I warn you of him, and there was no prophet but warned his followers of him, but I will tell you something about him which no prophet has told his followers. Ad-Dajjal is one-eyed whereas Allah is not. Hadith 75. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, while I was sleeping, I saw myself, in a dream, performing tawaf around the Kaaba. Behold, I saw a reddish-white man with lank hair, and water was dropping from his head. I asked, who is this? They replied, the son of Mary. Then I turned my face to see another man with a huge body, red complexion and curly hair and blind in one eye. His eye looked like a protruding out grape. They said, to me, he is Ad-Dajjal. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, added, the man he resembled most is Ibn Qatan, a man from the tribe of Khuzāh. Hadith 76. Narrated Aisha, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, in his prayer, seeking refuge with Allah from the afflictions of Ad-Dajjal. Hadith 77. Narrated Hudayfa, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said about Ad-Dajjal that he would have water and fire with him, what would seem to be, fire would be cold water, and, what would seem to be, water would be fire. Hadith 78. Narrated Anas, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, no prophet was sent but that he warned his followers against the one-eyed liar, Ad-Dajjal. Beware. He is blind in one eye, and your Lord is not so, and there will be written between his, Ad-Dajjal's, eyes, the word, kafir, that is, disbeliever. This hadith is also quoted by Abu Hurairah and Ibn Abbas. Hadith 79. Narrated Abu Sa'id, one day, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, narrated to us a long narration about Ad-Dajjal, and among the things he narrated to us was, Ad-Dajjal will come, and he will be forbidden to enter the mountain passes of Medina. He will encamp in one of the salt areas in neighboring Medina, and there will appear to him a man who will be the best or one of the best of the people. He will say, I testify that you are Ad-Dajjal, whose story Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, has told us. Ad-Dajjal will say to his audience, Look, if I kill this man and then give him life, will you have any doubt about my claim? They will reply, No. Then Ad-Dajjal will kill that man and then will make him alive. The man will say, By Allah, now I recognize you more than ever. Ad-Dajjal will then try to kill him again, but he will not be given the power to do so. Hadīth 80. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, There are angels at the mountain passes of Medina, so that neither plague nor Ad-Dajjal can enter it. Hadīth 81. Narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Ad-Dajjal will come to Medina and find the angels guarding it. So Allah willing, neither Ad-Dajjal nor plague will be able to come near it. Hadīth 82. Narrated Zainab bint Jahash, that one day Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, entered upon her in a state of fear and said, None has the right to be worshipped but Allah. Woe to the Arabs from the great evil that has approached them. Today a hole has been opened in the dam of Gog and Magog like this. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, made a circle with his index finger and thumb. Zainab bint Jahash added, I said, O Allah's Apostle, shall we be destroyed though there will be righteous people among us? The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Yes, if the number of evil persons increased. Hadīth 83. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, A hole has been opened in the dam of Gog and Magog. Wuhayb, the sub-narrator, made the number 90, with his index finger and thumb.